She told me, son, when I pass away, I want you to celebrate. Passing away, there's a certain quality that I did not know about, Terry. The reason why something's wrong here is because I used to force myself to cry at funerals. What's the deal, Terry? What us, oh, how sad a passing and rest in peace and they're going to heaven, they're in a better place. These are the comfort words that we were taught to spew. These are the comfort words that we were taught to spew. What's happening? My name is Albert. Welcome to another workout with this soon-to-be 61-year-old in about a week's time. And so today I am going to work out with Mr. Hogan. My tribute to Hulk Hogan is going to be a sweet bicep workout. Together, I am going to work out with you, bro. And so the reason I'm going to work out with you is because that's what I would want. When I pass away, I want people to work out with me, to dance with me, to do the things that I like, to freaking remember me in those type of ways, bro. I don't want anyone And so, Terry, I'm going to kick it with you. That's your name, Terry. And so I'm going to kick it to you, bro to bro. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to discuss the grieving process, which in America, the way I grew up, I realized later on that we grieve terribly. I mean, horribly, and it's poisonous the way we react to something so natural. Passing away is natural. We're all going to pass away, but we act like you're not supposed to. And so we carry this thing, Terry. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to work out with you. I'm going to hear what you have to say about these bicep curls, and then I'm going to kick with you into the end. And so, Terry, let's get to it.
You can turn them on the way up.
Gotcha.
And turn them on the way down. You can pull them straight. That gets the forearms a little more on the way down.
Okay, so I'm going to kick it with you, Terry. And first of all, I would like to say that you were part of my upbringing. Just like many who saw you on the television. I was around 20, 21, 22 around that time, all the way to maybe 30 years old, I guess. And so I want to thank you for being a part of my life, because you really filled up a lot of my freaking evenings with so much entertainment. And so thank you. And so the next thing I want to talk about, Terry, is that I heard you say in one of your videos that you're going to really focus on the now, and that you're not going to really pay much mind to those who are dying around you. And so for whoever's watching this video, Terry, my point in starting this whole grieving educational video is that a lot of people, like say the youngsters, they're not in tune. That once you start reaching 50 and 60, you're going to start seeing all these people that you grew up with go. And that's something that you're either going to face or go crazy with. And so the way you said it made me reflect that there was things going on in your life, and that you had to really focus on the now, because that was the most important thing. And that you weren't going to be bothered with what was happening around you, because you are powerless over what's happening over other people. And so now what I wanted to say is that I connected with that so much, because everyone that I grew up with, from television, the people, you know, were the Munsters and freaking Lucille Ball, all those people, they're gone. They're all gone. But here's the difference. When they decided to leave us, so many people felt so tragic about it. And now, my point about that tragic, all that sadness, all they passed away, all things will never be the same. We were taught to do that. And that's the poisonous part that's no good for us. Because passing away, there's a certain quality that I did not know about, Terry. The quality is just as equal as birth, but we see it as, oh no, they're gone now forever. And so what I wanted to say was that while we react to passing away that way, oh, they're passing away, how tragic, things will never be the same. My mom did not react that way. She told me, son, when I pass away, I want you to celebrate. I don't want you crying and other. She didn't want me doing what everyone else was used to doing. And so my mom said that. Before my brother passed away, he said exactly the same thing. My father said exactly the same thing. Many of my friends said exactly the same thing. So what's the deal, Terry? What us, oh, how sad a passing and rest in peace and they're going to heaven, they're in a better place. These are the comfort words that we were taught to spew, along with carrying unnecessary sadness, because a lot of us are not truly sad. I found out later on when I was interested, because I said something's wrong here. The reason why something's wrong here is because I used to force myself to cry at funerals. And I said, what's wrong with me that I don't have that urge to cry? Then later on, I learned, Terry, that a lot of us react differently. A lot of us are not meant to cry. There's some of us that are born to be strong for the family. And we have to hold up the family and hold up everything. And there's responsibilities when someone leaves us. And so, the job for the strong ones is to take care of the weaker ones, the ones that do fall apart. And so the other thing is that there's a lot of people that just don't vibe with the crying bit. They handle grief in another way. I fit in that category. I both want to be strong for my surroundings and be there for support. And at the same time, I just don't vibe with crying and falling apart and saying how sad, what a tragedy, oh, things are never going to be the same. I'm just not like that. And so when I found out that that was normal, it was such a relief. And then that helped me not carry that sadness that lingers constantly, because the sadness or the tragedy, it creates fear, Terry. This fear of I'm next, because you are only 10 years older than me. And so what am I going to think naturally? Well, I'm 61 and you passed away at 71, and so I got 10 years left. That, crosses my mind. But if that crosses my mind at the capacity of when I didn't know how to grieve, then it will produce a certain fear in me. When's my time, and when is next, or when is someone else going to go? And the compounding effect, because what I found out, right, was that we have about 40 major losses, and we may have 80 minor losses. And what they said was that the 40 major losses are close friends, family members, of people that we grew up that affect us. And then the other losses are losses of relationships and jobs. And so they included those type of losses. And so, Terry, what happens to us is that when all these losses compound and we're carrying, oh, how sad, and we don't process it right, and we're carrying the fear of death with us, that causes depression. And I vibe with that so much, because most people that I've been around and grew up with, they end up carrying this lingering sadness, tragedy, despair, this kind of yearning, or carrying this certain fear, or this fear for others. Oh, be careful. Well, be careful when you drive. Oh, take care of yourself. We carry that thing, which is so dangerous. And so, Terry, the takeaway is that I'm working out with you. And if you were a dancer, I'll be dancing with you. And so, to take that sadness that does happen naturally and to allow the body to process the grieving process naturally, which means, like, I'll give you an example, Terry. When anything tragic happens, I get tightness in my chest. That's my system taking care of it. Now, I don't have to say I'm sad, because part of saying sad is me wanting attention about it. or, to the degree that I'm sad, will give me the console and comfort that I'm looking for. A lot of us don't know that the sadness, the tragedy, and how terrible is us really just seeking attention and following what culture has told us how to handle, people that pass away. And so we just doing that. But if we can think deep down inside what's going on, it's probably not what we're doing. And so, once you're grieving properly and you're allowing your body's innate system to handle it for you, the handling will be under all weird stages that you don't know yet. Like, for example, there was a time where I had a major loss and I had that sharp tightness in my chest, and it was followed by confusion. Like, what happened? Like, I couldn't really believe it. I couldn't really get I couldn't wrap my head around what happened. Like, I felt lost, like I was sent elsewhere due to this loss. And then following that, then this sadness, this kind of like, I was carrying something because something was missing. But then after the funeral and after those things, I found myself laughing, man. I mean, hysterically laughing. And then I got angry because, God took this person away from me. Why did you do that? They left too soon. And so this thing about too soon is a big mistake that we're doing, because we don't know when we're going to go. And what we're doing is that we grew up calculated. A certain time we expect someone to go, and that's hurting us a lot more because, we all go at different times. But to calculate when someone ought to go is causing problems. Like, my mom passed away at 74. And I took it because I was prepared for grief. Now, if I wasn't prepared for grief, you took it so soon, and what happened? And so I had started to ask myself, so when's the age we're all supposed to freaking pass away? Because according to the calculated lifespan that I was living upon, meant that everyone's supposed to live to 120. When? 100? When? I had to wrap my head around, Terry, that we all go at different ages. And so that thing, gone too soon, is another thing that's just culturally forced it onto us. And so, Terry, I know, because I watched a lot of your videos, that you are vibing with me 100%, because what I'm saying coincides with what I heard you say. We need to say, this hurts. We need to say that in order for us to relate to another human being. But deep down inside, we're not so sure. I'm not doing all the reps with you. I'm too busy kicking it with you, Terry. And so, look, I'm still holding the dumbbells, man. And so, we're not too sure how we feel most of the time. But what we do is that we pick up the cultural inputs from our upbringing. I started to look at how Asians grieve. They have a different system of grieving. I lived in Asia for many, many years, and so I got to lose people, and the entire grieving process is different. In India, it's entirely different. And so in America, it's terrible. When I mean terrible, it's absolutely terrible. The memorabilia, the things that the memories, and oh my God, the celebrations, they passed away 5 years ago and 6 years ago. And the carrying of it, what happens with the carrying of it, Terry, is that it compounds, because we have about 40 major deaths in our lives, right? Friends, families, dogs, cats, fish, whatever. We have 40 major ones. And then we have another, bunch of minor losses that could be major, like job losses and all kinds of losses in regards to loss of finances, loss of jobs, loss of relationships, the boyfriend and girlfriends, those are losses. And even though they didn't pass away, though we can take that as losses, and that requires a grieving process. But Terry, we don't know how to handle it. And what happens is that those are losses. They compound and they cause depression. They cause this wish to go. It causes fear of that, who's gonna, drop next. And it is extra care. Oh, be careful when you drive, and a worry, like someone may maybe go away and we're worrying about it, hoping that they land okay, because so many people has left us. We didn't grieve properly, and we think that the next person that takes a trip is gonna go. And a lot of times we even carry this type of thing, like when we go on vacation. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go on vacation if anything happens to me. But we carry that, even though that's smart, because we never know, but we carry it because of not grieving properly, Terry. Because we ought to travel and maybe have a concern, but not carry this fear that's so freaking longing, because this fear is of passing away, is causing us to carry this thing that's affecting us in a major way. But since we don't want to talk about it, it's kind of hush-hush. We don't want to go there, but we deal with it, and we deal with it the way culture has taught us how to deal with it, in a terrible way. In every way that the U.S. grieves is freaking horrible. I have my fair share of passaways, and you too. And we were taught wrong, man. That's my freaking message from me to you, Terry, that we were taught so wrong how to grieve. The process of, there's a quality to passing away that's incredible, just like birth, which this took me a long time to I could not grasp that someone told me that passing away had an immense quality. Took a long time, but it hit me non-verbally, because what happens is that we're caught with words. We're caught with sadness and, what a terrible loss, and rest in peace, and, God needed another angel. And we toss around those type of words, which takes us away from that quality. So we'll never know it as long as we're talking, Terry. We'll never know that quality. And so, my takeaway between me and you, kicking it with you, boy to boy, is to look into, how does India grieve? How does Asians grieve? Buddhists grieve? And learn the process of how they do it. And then you'll start to pick up on how damaging and how poisonous our grieving process is, and how we seem to never really unravel. Like we never seem to come to terms with it. That's why I worked out with you. That's why when my mom passed away, she's still with me. She passed away maybe 20 years ago, my brother, and I'm still carrying a relationship with them, because the way I grew up, it was the end. It was finished. They were gone. I didn't know that I can maintain a relationship with people that were no longer with me the same way I maintain a relationship with people long distance. I don't see them for years, but we carry, and then when we talk on the phone, we kick it, and it's just us on the phone. But I don't see that person. But we consider the passing away of someone the absolute ending of them. But now we have to think about it. If it's the absolute ending, then what are they doing in heaven? Watching over us. If it's the absolute end, we should be joyful. If they went upstairs and they're hanging out with the freaking king and they're watching over us and waiting for us, then see, that's where I started to really do my research. Because we make up these things, oh, they're in a better place. Better place means that their spirit or whatever is still freaking thriving somewhere, Terry. But, oh, it's the end on earth. Oh, I'm going to miss them so much. And so this missing thing, if we can leave the absence for the innate system to take care of, then we will find this beautiful connection between that person who's no longer here. And I do that all the time, because, my losses, oh my God. And I'm going to see them in another life, or, when I pass away, I'll be with them. I'm not freaking there anymore, because I really don't know. But I'm not really carrying nothing in regards to depression, nothing in regards to this lingering sadness. I don't fear it. I'm 61. I do not fear it whatsoever, and that's a real big takeaway, because most people fear, oh, when my time comes. And we almost treat our time coming as though we're going to know how we're going to feel and what's going to happen. And Terry, when I go, I'm not going to know that I was alive in the opposite sense, because there's the sense of you go somewhere, then there's the other sense that you don't know you exist, because I won't be breathing, I won't be thinking. And so in regards to the spirit, I really don't know if that spirit has that type of conscience that contains a memory. I don't know. And so if anyone picked up on some of the ways that I've been trying to deliver this message to you, Terry, then maybe you could take a look to see how you grieve, how you respond to it, how so many people, I have this freaking incredible account. I remember, which is the reason why I started to question myself, why I didn't cry at funerals, because there was a particular girl that never visited her grandma. Never. They were distant. But when she died, she fell apart, man. I'm looking at this girl and I'm watching her react, and I'm seeing Culture reacting. She's not reacting. The movies, when people pass away in the movies, they freaking make it all dramatic and everything. She was freaking putting on a show. And so it was a drama scene that I was taking a look at, Terry. It was not an actual grieving about someone that she never visited. Now, maybe she felt guilty because she never visited. Maybe that was there. So if that was there, that guilt should not have displayed her falling apart at a funeral, bro. She put on a complete show. When I saw that complete show, Terry, I said to myself, you better look into grieving, because you're not grieving right. You're carrying fear. You're carrying a lingering of when someone else is going to go, or when you're going to go. Like when you go, you're going to recollect it. And so there's, these are the questions that we don't really know, because I am not going to emphatically say that we go somewhere, and I'm not going to emphatically say that we don't go anywhere. I'm not going to emphatically say that there's absolutely no memory whatsoever that we were ever alive. And I'm not going to emphatically say that there is a certain type of spiritual conscience that would take me somewhere else, and that I will be with my loved ones. I'm not going to say either, because I don't know what happens truly when we pass away. And so, Terry, I'm holding these dumbbells, bro. Terry, one thing I want to tell you, Terry, is that these are unbalanced dumbbells. And so I followed you to my best ability. It was hard to talk and work out with you at the same time. But these are unbalanced dumbbells, Terry. I think you would like this a lot, because, we want to twist. And we want to twist the pinky so that we could, activate the bicep more. But what happens in the process, Terry, is that with regular dumbbells, we have to make that twist. But with these unbalanced dumbbells, Terry, there's an extra weight pulling down on the pinky area. And so you would have loved this freaking bicep workout, and I guarantee you work out with me, you would have changed all your weights, bro. You'll be working out with freaking unbalanced dumbbells. You'll be freaking having a party, working out in different ways, because this workout that I did with you is away from my normal protocol. I work out hybrid style, which means that I engage as many muscles as possible. So I will be working out with you like this. I'll be freaking dancing while working out with you. And so, Terry, man, I'm not going to say I miss you. I'm not going to say that, because I think you already get where I'm coming from. And it's not lack of compassion. It's not insensitive, bro. You know the deal. There's a freaking quality to what's going on here, bro. And I'm also right now feeling elated from the words that are coming out of me, that is delivering me this elated feeling, bro, which I know. Yo, Terry, we're cool, right? Everything is freaking just dandy, bro. And so anyway, this concludes my workout. And until the next one, I am done.